Just very quickly before we start the video, if you haven't seen part 1, I strongly suggest you look here where it says more. Just click that. In the video description you'll find part 1. Don't miss that, because you will lose the context. In part 2 now of this very special fortress that we're visiting, you will see some of the really interesting features there. Okay, let's roll the video. Another one. One of the soldiers has put their name here. Look at that. 1924, guys. And we're just on our way to the second positions where the Germans got a surprise, and you can see the barbed wire fence system everywhere here. But that is crazy. Number of the soldier, his name, and 1924. This thing here, this project here is actually Eli's research. It's because of him and his curiosity. He found this the other day, and we had to make a detour on the Great World 2 Challenge tour to get here, because I was so surprised to see what was up on the mountain top here, and I have no regrets whatsoever. But you guys, you are inspiring Eli to do this, and I thank you for that. I'm a single dad out there looking for history and sharing history, but when my son evolves into this, you know, enthusiast for World War II history and does his own research, it is so rewarding for me as a dad. So thank you everybody for doing that for him. So here you have the second surprise. Let me show you what a rifle gallery looks like. These are all over Europe. You can see here it's a wall. It's lower down to the gun positions, and you can see typical. This is the rock here. So there's a wall. You can place your ammunition here, and then you can aim your rifle down here. And some of the rifle galleries goes for hundreds of meters in the terrain, and they very often come towards a location where you can come up to the gun positions. And I'm not sure whether the local army here waited for the Germans here, but they certainly fired some rounds from some artillery that was here, that is for sure. But I have to see how far, see how long this goes into the terrain here. Hundreds and hundreds of meters. You put your, oh, I almost fell there. You put your munition here, you lean over here with your rifle, and old style fighting technique, but it sure did the good job if you kind of take into consideration that you're actually stationary, and if the enemy finds another way around you, you're doomed. Wow, what a spectacular location, and thank you Eagle Eyes for finding this place. This has been such an incredible journey so far, but we are not finished, because we are now going to the main attraction that we're going to share with you here today, and that is where some incredible heroic actions were kind of done by the locals here, withstanding the Germans invading them in thousands for more than 25 days. This is not easy to see. Right there, it's a terrifying kind of lookout bunker position. The Germans never knew they were there, because they were coming from such low grounds, and these guys had full control. So this is the inner defensive circle of this position. Here you can see the trench system that leads you around the hill. For every meter here, under us here, there's a bunker, and then you can see on this side heavy duty metal things inside there. But that means there's actually a tunnel under here. And is it possible for us to find a way inside these tunnels? We really don't know, but it seems to be some kind of entrance here with some stairs. Can you see that? Seems like that leads us down into the mountainside. And there's another lookout position bunker right there. What do you say, guys? Should we check out this?
Is that stairs?
I'm not sure. We'll check it out. Wow. This looks a bit scary, to be honest.
Delivery!
But see, it goes up and down into the terrain. But since we're here, we just have to check it out. All right, Urbex 2, show the way. Oh, wow. Oh, look at this place here, guys. This is where the locals waited for the Germans. Now you can understand how difficult it would be for anyone to come this way here. This is what they saw. The Germans never saw them because this was very much camouflaged. And just imagine being that Hans of Friedrich coming up that hill and then boom, boom, boom. Wow. See that? I'm not sure whether that is like a movable machine gun rail system. Do you think it could be?
Yeah, maybe.
Either that or for a shutter. But I think that could really well be a shutter or for a machine gun going back and forth. Okay. Wow, look at this place. It's concrete here. Yeah, they really worked hard to make this thing functionable so they could get through the mountain. But this, ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing compared to what you're going to see on the top. Absolutely nothing. Another shootout position. This is like an underground part of the rifle gallery. Let them see down here, Eli. Oh my goodness, how cool is that? Gonna continue. I wonder what we find further up here. It's gonna be even more greatness for sure. You can see a demonstration. Eli is up on the rifle gallery and he's firing towards Hans and Wilfred, and he's running out of munition. Because remember, these guys had no surplus, they had nothing coming in. They were here for 25 days fighting the Germans. So every round they spent, that was gone. There was nothing coming in. And that was actually the basis of why they in the end had to surrender. Because if you don't get supplies, you know, you're just gonna run out of everything, including food. Are you kidding me? This place is totally bananas. And more of the firing post. You can see here, the vegetation has taken over, so you cannot see too much right there now. Oh, you look at this place, Eli. This is totally amazing. I know I used that word so many times, but there's nothing else I can say. It's amazing, 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 amazing. So bear with me, guys. Okay, I can see dozens of the shootout positions. Every one of them would be able to be a spot where these guys could take out the German advancing. This is concrete roof.
Concrete. Yeah.
And this up here looks like another style of the firing posts. Wow, these are bigger, but you can see they are canted. You can see you go like this or even like that. So it's not square, it's like you can go like this or like that. Totally amazing. So as you saw in part one, we show you the outer perimeter locations and the positions here. Now we're on the top where there are some insanely cool features, including the guns that was actually used here. Yes, the actual guns, and you're gonna see them. There are so many special features, and if everything goes well, we are also gonna take you underground. And that is something that I really look forward to. All of this is thanks to, holy cow, that goes down to the underground. This is insane. All of this is thanks to one very young history hunter, Eagle Eyes. Thank you for finding this and sharing it with us, because it's your research. It's not a coincidence. You are very clever, you're very smart, and you really know how to find these places. But nevertheless, on the top here, this was the main position. This is an old style fortress, and you can imagine guns like this standing right there. And what you see here are the munition depots. All of these were munition storages that they had, and even at some of these locations we are finding soldiers' names dating back all the way to 1906, you know, carved into the concrete and rocks, and that is absolutely incredible. And you can see that in part one we find several of those, and we're going to see if we can find more of them here. Eagle Eye is now going to take us up to the very first bunker on the top here, and it's nothing that you've ever seen before. You know, we do a lot of World War II stuff and German stuff, and really recognize this, what you're going to see now is rather spectacular. That, my friend, is a German World War II S-mine display, and we create and give them away to our Patreon team members. This is a German Soldatenheim little shadow box. This is a 9mm munition box. Everything here is original. These are artifacts from the Second World War, and we give them away to our Patreon team members. If you want to check out how to become a Patreon team member, there's a link here in the video description where it says more. Just click that, then you click the link for the Patreon, and then you'll see how you can become a Patreon team member, and you will in the end up with something absolutely spectacular, some small artifacts from the Second World War, and we will share history in a very special way together. Into the labyrinth of all of these, walls protecting the soldiers passing through here. And the Germans would take advantage of that when they kept this position for the time that did. But that thing we're going to see is right up there. All right, you want to see something really, really special? What about that? That is a crow's nest. This is one of the firing control bunkers. It's not exactly the same as the German build, but holy moly, that is pretty wild. You can see they have these steel shutters.
It looks like a trick 360.
Yeah, they have 360 views, and the steel shutters are there to be able to kind of shut it down if they needed to, and there was incoming fire, and then they could just release them down again and use them at their convenience. It's a pretty intimidating structure, and there's another one down there, and we're not exactly sure if this can be you can go into them from here. I hardly doubt. Do you want to climb in there and check out if you can get in there?
I'll try here.
Be careful, be careful.
Yeah.
Cool. And you can see this is the actual hill. Inside here, 200 and, how many was it? 289 guys and one lady? 286 guys and one lady stood here or lived here for 25 days fighting the Germans, trying to overtake them. All right, the report is that we can access it from the inside, and that is going to be something we look forward to do and share with you. That's going to be in part 3, because now we're going to focus on the features that are on the mountain top here. All right, I'm going to show you an image. See that? Now I'm going to show you another image. 2024. This is what Eagle Eyes came for. This is that gun that you saw in the picture. How cool is that? To be able to see that picture, see that image, and now the gun is right there. And see here, they came up, each and every one of the passages from the mountainside down there leads up to one of these gun positions. And this is really, really fascinating to see, that picture is this exact gun, and it's still here. How crazy is that? That's the rifling here, and they plugged it. But just to see that they want this to be exhibited like this, this is what makes this place very special. It's like, how wouldn't you do this? Why would you kind of take away a gun like this and just scrap it? I'm so happy that they actually said, let's leave it right there. But you know what? Eagle Eye is going to show us more guns. So let's do that. A young boy's dream to find World War II history and also World War II guns. What could be better to fulfill his dreams? And I hope that some of you guys also get your dreams fulfilled by seeing some of the stuff that we share with you. Again, the crew would come out there, they welded it up so you can't get through that. And
Wow.
is it possible to go inside these Eagle Eyes?
No.
Is it locked?
Yeah.
Let's check the back side there. I mean the turret.
Locked.
Yeah, there's a padlock. I wonder what they look like, because it's so short from there to there. But you can see here, imagine the Germans, they came from all the way down into the valley. And then you can see the main problem for these defending this position was they couldn't lower the gun's barrel, the elevation. And that meant they couldn't hit them when they got closer, but they could certainly hit them from the rifle galleries and all of that. But that was a lucky moment for the Germans, because if these could have come much further down, it would be even much harder. And you said that the Germans lost how many men?
Many, very many.
How many? 190 or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, and that's a lot of troops
They
falling
had Gebirgsjäger
in
there.
just, yeah. The Gebirgsjäger came, they tried to do something, they just left and said, we
Then a
cannot do it.
division or a battalion.
All right, let's continue. You see here, there's one, there's one, there's one, and I can see that the gate is actually opening. Like, can you see that? Oh my goodness, this is going to be so cool. When we show you the underworld of this complex in part 3, you are going to be completely blown away.
Back door is closed.
Yeah, and that is the observation turret. This is that gun. Wow. Oh, there's even a crazier construction there, you guys. Can you see that? Holy Madonna. That bunker up there looks very, very tempting to go into. All right, so we have, how many have we now? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see? That one is much lower in the terrain than this one. So this one could probably go a bit lower down. Again, sealed off, you can't get up. But if we can see one of them from the stairs, that would be cool to go inside here. Of course, I can jump over here, but we'll do that in our tour. Oh wow, I'm so happy that Eagle Eyes found this place. So right there, there's a happy boy sitting on a 7.5 centimeter gun this time. And here you can see, this is what it was all about. The Germans coming from the valley all the way down there, trying to traverse up here. An insanity down there with barbed wire fencing system, as you saw, and just layer upon layer of barbed wire, rifle galleries, guns, and all of that they needed to keep the Germans out. It was ready, available right there. It just took some time to make everything work here. So this is one of 2 of the 7.5 centimeter guns.
The rest were 10.5.
So the rest were 10.5 centimeter guns. Let's see. Oh, you can actually see some of the damages that I read about that. Can you see that? This has the battle scars of the German artillery shelling, and that is going to be crazy cool to see. But we're going to check out the second gun position for the 7.5 centimeters, and there's even something going on down there, Eagle Eyes. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a part of the rifle gallery? Holy pancake, this place is crazy. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And you can see here how insanely steep it is. Now you can understand why these thousands of Germans couldn't get up here, because this is littered with, you can see that in part 1, be careful guys, there are barbed wires everywhere. So just imagine they have to come from the valley there's a very steep hillside, and then some ravines, and then this. That's why it was so difficult to get up here. There's this one here. Is that a battle scar? I think this is actually a battle scar. Can you see that? The Germans used the Bergkanone field gun. You can see that in part 1. There's one actually displayed here. So as you see in part 1, you can see the actual gun that the Germans brought up here to hit this place. Huh?
No bullet hits on these.
So bullet hits on these?
None.
Maybe they made them new, because they couldn't hit that from here. The Luftwaffe was also called in to do damage, and maybe some of the things you see up there is because of that.
They lost one plane.
The Germans also lost a plane, and we actually know where that is. This is something else, guys. Look at this thing. This was hammered by the Luftwaffe and the German Bergkanone, and I think they even fired maybe with machine guns and stuff, because Eagle Eyes just said there are bullet holes, Daddy, and I think he's really, really right. Can you see that? Can this be lifted so we can see the bullet holes? Yeah, the bullet holes came from the outside.
Only 20 millimeter
Look
from
at
the
that.
German aircraft.
Bang! And you can see this has really been messed up by all the firing that the Germans did towards here. Wow, yeah, it really took some hits here. Can you see that? It's a huge chunk out of it right there. And even more of the shutters has been damaged here. I'm not exactly sure whether all of these could be shrapnel or bullet holes. And there are some damage down there. This is crazy. See the rebars, eagle eyes? Such a heavy duty. And here, you see that? This is definitely damages from the battle here. And I just wanted so much to see some of the battle damage that is actually reported to be here. And you can see, yeah, huge chunks has come out of the construction here. And it seems like something really bad happened there. And that twisted and mangled cover. And this one, just to imagine to do that, boom, blasted open like that. A lot of force going on right there. That is truly a very spectacular sight to see. Oh yes, guys, the Germans actually put some of these into action to try and crush the resistance there. And as you saw now in part 2, there are so many interesting things. And also, yeah, you guessed it, there will be a part 3. Let me tell you a little bit more about that. But before that, if you want to help us to reach more people, you know, we can go out and do that if we have some fuel in the gas tank of the camper van. You can help us out with a little PayPal donation. You find the link here where it says more. Just click that, and then you can click the PayPal link, and all the donations comes in is greatly, greatly appreciated. And we also have this very simple, easy super thanks feature here. Basically, your way to let us have some fuel in the gas tank, go out and share even more fantastic history with all of you. And all of you who take part in that, either by a PayPal donation or a super thanks donation, or you are a patron team member. Each and every one of you take part in the draw that we do every month in the beginning of each month. You can see the supporter day videos. We give these artifacts away to our supporters. So you are actually, or have quite a good chance to be one of the lucky future keepers of something really special. So check out the options to help us to just show more. All right, guys, there will be a part 3 and couple of small details here. So let me show you what's coming up in part 3. This underground world, that is what we're going to explore in part 3. Yes, exciting stuff. I hope you join us, and I'll put the link here where it says more. You can go in there in the video description, and when it's released you will see part 3. Hopefully you will see that as well, and you'll see the end of this fantastic fortress hunt that we did. And it's thanks to Eagle Eyes, my son's curiosity, that we can actually share this with you. So thank you so much for subscribing, commenting, and if you want to help us with the YouTube algorithm, subscribe, hit the comment field, and watch 15 of our videos in your lunch break. That helps us out tremendously. All right, thank you guys. Stay safe, keep smiling, and see you later.